Today we're here to select our Glenfiddich Vintage for 2008, and we can see in front of you here we've got 6 casks here. Now in here we're actually going to draw some of this whisky out, just like you see the whisky, like you see the colour of the whisky. So the colour of the whisky is natural colour. The colour you'll see has been taken from the casks. When we go back through next door, I'll tell you that the strengths of the whisky, they're all sort of around the 50% and slightly above. But you can see these are Spanish oak butts, as we call them, all holding roughly about 500 litres. So these casks have been made for us in Spain from a European oak and shipped over to Scotland, and we've then put our whisky into it. Now we've got a combination of 1975 whisky and 1977s, and we've got 3 casks of each. And I've looked at this whisky already, and although I don't know the exact age of any of these casks, to be fair, they're long, even before I've started in the company, you can see they're all 75 or 77s, and I reckon they're all probably being filled at least once. So this filling here that you see is probably a second filling, or on 1 or 2 occasions might even be a third filling. So these casks could go way back into the sort of 40s and 50s. So they could be 70 years old, these casks. And that's the sort of traditional, that's the sort of length of time that we would expect to have these casks in our possession and still maturing whisky well. So what I'm going to do is ask Eric, our sort of head warehouseman, to just draw some whisky out of each of these casks. We'll put it into a sample glass. We'll just pass it round. We can have a chat about them. Let us think what hear some of your comments on them. And you'll see the different colours. We do get a kind of nice dark, rich bronze colour to sort of more light golden colours. But these are typical sort of traditional American European oak casks. So do you want to ask any questions at the moment on anything you see here? Or these casks are very expensive. In fact, when we bring in quite a few thousand of these casks every year, mainly for our single malts. And they cost us about £500 each. So they're much more expensive than American oak. American oak casks might cost about £50. So these casks are 2.5 times the size of an American oak barrel, but about 10 times the cost. So here's the natural colour of the whisky that's coming out of this cask. This is typical kind of colour that you would get out of a European oak cask, quite dark and rich and that kind of bronze colour. And generally you'll get this more sort of spicy, sort of dried fruits. American casks tend to give you the sweet sort of vanilla fruity notes, for Spanish oak casks, and we'll see this when we go back to do it properly. We've got this sort of spicy, sort of dried fruits, nutty, raisin, sort of dried fruits notes. So let me just give you this one, Walter, just for your to nose, and we can pass them round. And if you want to make any comments on them, let's just do.
Why did you choose these particular 6 casks, David?
Well, the process we go through is we first of all decide on what ages we're going to bottle as a vintage. Then we decide if we're going to bottle a European oak cask or an American oak cask. We decided this because we bottled 76 last year. We decided to do a 75 and 77, 2 years that I don't have done before. And we decided to do European oak casks. So Brian and I got a number of these casks. He sent a number of samples sent down from a lot of our casks from these 2 ages. And we picked these 6 casks because it does show a great diversity from one cask to another. So you can see just by looking at the colours here how we've got real dark ones and some much lighter.